Plaintiff Linda Phillips says the defendant dated her grandson, and Linda allowed both of them to live with her. While there, Linda claims the defendant was caught having sex in her car with Linda's grandson. And Linda's suing because she bailed the defendant out of jail after she and her grandson were arrested for possession of marijuana. Defendant Caitlin Campbell says she dropped out of college after she started dating Linda's grandson. But a year later, they broke up. Caitlin admits that Linda loaned her some money, but insists some of it was a gift.
Start with you.
Your Honor, I first met Caitlin when she came to our home with my grandson, who was staying with us at the time. This was in December 2012. She seemed like a very lovely lady. She was beautiful, very intelligent, and we hit it off immediately. She stayed for dinner, and later that evening, my husband and I went to bed, and I thought she would just go on home like any decent person would.
That
was not the case.
If you invited to stay, that doesn't make you indecent to not go home.
I didn't invite her to stay the night. She spent the night. We woke up the next morning, she was there, still there, and she didn't leave.
Who kept her there?
My grandson and I allowed
Your
it because...
indecent grandson.
Yes, both of them, yes.
Go ahead.
I allowed Caitlin to stay because I liked her and I felt she was very important to my grandson. So they wanted to...
She said, I thought she'd go home like any decent person. That was funny, man. Go
Thank
ahead.
You. I'm glad you
like any
that.
decent person. And so she stayed with your grandson?
They promised to get jobs. They even entertained the idea of going into the Air Force, and they never even saw a recruiter. They just basically smoked pot and, stayed with us a while.
How long?
They were with us for 8 months.
No one worked?
He worked in December. Caitlin didn't work, I think, until in May. But there were rumors at the place. We had friends and neighbors that said they saw them smoking pot in the parking deck. They even said they saw them having sex in the car on the top level of the parking deck. So to prevent these rumors anymore, I didn't want to hear them, I decided to move. So my husband and I moved. Caitlin and he packed up their...
They ran you out of your house?
Well, kind of, yeah. But we stayed together. They packed up their stuff and moved with us. They put it in her car and moved with us. And in April the 22nd, I saw the police lights flashing outside our apartment, and I went to see what was wrong. They had my grandson handcuffed in the back seat of a police car. Lights flashing, and Caitlin was in front of the other car. He was putting handcuffs on her. She was crying and screaming. They took her to jail. They took both of them to jail. My grandson called. I went and bailed them out. And I bailed Caitlin out too.
Okay, I'm sure that's part of your loans. Let me
yes, sir, that's
allow her. What did they go
to
jail for before we?
Possession of marijuana.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's hear from you, ma'am. Give me some background.
I greatly appreciate everything that Linda Phillips has done for me thus far. I met her grandson when I was 19.
She sounds pretty decent.
Full-time college student.
Go ahead.
Wait till she gets to the parking garage.
Boy, I better hold off.
Defendant Caitlin Campbell is being sued by her ex-boyfriend's grandmother, who claims while living together, Caitlin and her ex were caught having sex in her car.
Go ahead, ma'am. So you were in college?
Yes, sir, full-time.
Mm-hmm.
My family wasn't exactly supportive of the relationship. They viewed him as an unsavory character.
Why?
Apparently, he'd shared with them that he had spent time in a juvenile detention center for stabbing someone. They didn't make me aware of that.
Unless he had overcome that in a big way. Was he a success by that time, a significant success in life?
Not exactly.
All right, well, he should have kept that to himself. People say that when they're proud to have overcome such challenges.
Right.
I didn't tell my in-laws that until I was out of college. And I say, guess what? I used to be a thug. And they say, oh, but I'm glad you're successful now. So yeah, he should have waited. Go ahead.
My parents then gave me the option to stay at home and focus on school, or to leave home and pursue this relationship. I decided to leave home and pursue the relationship, which...
How'd that work out for you?
Not too well.
You still with him?
Lesson learned.
You
No,
still
sir.
with him?
No, sir.
How long did that last after leaving home?
It lasted until March.
So how long is that, from the time you left college to the time you broke up?
A year, 3 months.
Okay, so 1 year after leaving college for him, you all broke up.
Yes.
Did you go back to college?
Yes.
Good. What year are you in now?
I'm still considered a freshman.
All right. Did you want to respond to being on the roof?
It's not true.
You didn't get caught.
Didn't happen.
Or you didn't do it.
It didn't happen.
You didn't do it, and you didn't get caught.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I didn't do
Yes,
it,
you
and I
did
didn't
do
get
it.
caught.
And oh, okay. Gotcha. All right. Let me hear from you on the specifics. You say, obviously, you're telling me you bailed them out for the marijuana possession.
Yes, sir. I have the receipt here.
How
Your
much
Honor,
was it?
$180 for
And
Kaylin's bail.
who agreed to repay? Both of them?
I bailed both of them.
All right.
Okay.
And so they both agreed to repay, no doubt, and you have the option of suing one or both, and you've chosen her.
Yes, sir.
Good enough. You have that choice. All right. You're going to sue her for the total amount. And whatever happened with that case,
Whatever.
to your knowledge, did they beat it? Were they found guilty
No,
and
sir.
fined? Or
Her court date was May the 8th. I went with her and also took an attorney that my daughter worked for with her for support to help Kaylin. The judge fined her $650 probationary fees, of which I paid at the time because Kaylin didn't have the money. I wanted her to have a clean slate, them to have a clean start so they could start their lives together. And I was trying to support them emotionally and financially every way I could, but I didn't agree to bail them out of jail and do all that for the period that they were there with us.
Now let me ask.
Also, dear sir, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was going to ask about your grandson. Was he found liable too or guilty?
He was. His court date wasn't the same time as hers.
Okay. Go ahead. So 180 and then 650 you loaned her?
650, and she said she'd pay that back when she got a job. And in May, I realized that they were driving her car without insurance, so I insisted on that Kaylin get insurance on her car. And she said she didn't have the money; she wasn't working yet. And so I said, I'll pay for your insurance. You can pay me back when you do get a job, because I don't want you driving the car. I don't want him driving the car without insurance on it.
How much was it?
The initial start of her insurance was $210.75. I also had to pay the first month's of
what's the total on the
$133.25.
insurance?
$324, I believe.
So let me hear from you, ma'am, about the loans and repayment, if at all.
Sure. On the 22nd, when we were arrested, I did agree to pay her back.
Now, how
the
were
bail.
you all arrested for pot? You were smoking in public?
We were in our pajamas in my car, parked out front of the apartment. We knew that she and her husband were not okay.
They don't have a
with it.
balcony?
Well, they did at the time.
Why wouldn't you all go out on the balcony?
We didn't want to get caught.
Huh?
We didn't want them to see us smoking marijuana.
Oh, it was during the day?
No, it was at night.
What time?
Around 10 o'clock.
Oh, and they were still out?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. And you all just couldn't wait till they went to bed. I mean, they probably want, what time do you usually go to bed?
Yeah, 11, 12.
Right, so you only had an hour and a half to wait. You all are some weed heads. I'm with you. I thought they were casual recreational users. They're weed heads.
Not like-
They can't wait one more hour, huh?
It's not like either one of them had a job and had to be at work, unlike me. But
That's right.
back to her, Kaylin was not in school when I met her, and they got a loan. She got a check for some kind of schooling, but she didn't go to school. She said she was going back to school, but she didn't go to school the whole time I knew her. She got a check for, I think it was somewhere close to $5,000. It was gone within 2 to 3 weeks. They went to the thrift store.
Man,
bought a
there
lot of
wasn't
clothes.
no weed. That's crack. You can't smoke $5,000 worth of weed up. That'd take you about a year.
Defendant Kaylin Campbell is being sued by her ex-boyfriend's grandmother, who claims while living together, Kaylin and her ex were caught having sex in her car.
All right, let me allow her to defend herself
Okay.
against the loan. Go ahead, ma'am. Tell me about the loan.
The April 22nd. Okay.
Do you remember what we're talking about?
Yeah, I do.
Too much weed. Go ahead.
She bailed me out, and I did agree to pay her back the 180. And then she accompanied me on May the 8th and paid for it without me asking. And I just agreed to pay her back for that as well. She said when I could.
That's the $650.
Yes, sir. And
Insurance is the last one. I know you've forgotten.
I was under the impression that that was a gift, considering that her grandson was driving my car as well, and that I was just to take over the payments when I could, and I did.
Did you ever tell her you would pay her back for that insurance?
No.
It's not true.
Ma'am, why would she admit to everything else and not that? Because $650.
I'm not sure why she would deny that, Your Honor. But I know that when I put it on my credit card, she said she would pay me back when she got a job. And I said, I don't let it go more than 1 month.
She said she agreed to begin paying for it herself.
She never mentioned to me that she was going to resume it.
Did she?
She did not.
Did she
I don't
ever?
know whether, I don't know whether she had insurance after June or not, but I paid through June.
Do you?
Yes, sir, and I have evidence to prove it.
Let me see what you have. Because usually a person is telling the truth. When they'll admit to 90% of something, and she does have insurance. Right after that, she got insurance that July.
Yes, sir. Your Honor, they moved out in July because we were going to move to Florida in September. I gave them 6 months when we moved from our first place to that place to get established.
Where's he at?
Pardon me? I don't know where he's at.
He skipped town on you?
Yes.
Really?
I think he's up north somewhere.
How did you catch up with her?
We had her address. I knew.
Yo, the dogs. You sent the dogs?
My daughter.
Your
Yeah,
what?
we sent the my daughter works for
Oh, your
attorneys.
daughter. I'm sorry, and
yes,
I don't
we had
mean to be
Kaylin's
funny.
address.
So she
But
didn't disappear.
The straw that broke the camel's back, as far as I'm concerned, is when in last
You're not gonna let me get a
February-
word in edgewise.
Yes, sir. She. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
No, I enjoy your testimony. However, I'm not going to require that she pay the insurance. I'm just not convinced of that. In fact, I believe her on that. 1174 minus 324, which was the insurance, is
$850.
850 is your judgment. Now you catch up with that grandson of yours and let him take care of that 300 at least. She's paying the 8. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.
I'm glad it's over.
Me too.
I'm glad it's over. Yeah.
Can put it behind us now.
Yes, yes. Just take care. Be the person I know y'all can be.
Did you co-sign on a car for someone and now he or she won't pay the car note? If you don't know what to do in this situation, ask me about it on my website, askjudgemathis.com.